This is Charlotte Bayala. Charlotte is the host of the Cancer Caregiver podcast, corporate caregiver wellness program designer and speaker. Charlotte, welcome.
Welcome, everyone. You made it here, and you might have been waiting for a while. So I really love that you're still here and taking this important step in caring for yourself. Now, while we continue, when you have a chance, I would like for you to grab a piece of paper if you don't already have one. Just take some time to settle in and sit back and bring yourself to here. So if you have your phones in your hands, if possible, go ahead and set them down. Maybe even get wild and flip them over so you can't see your screen. So you can just take this time for yourself. It's just you and this screen and me talking just for a few moments of your day. So if you're able to do that, but if you can grab a piece of paper and something to write with, if you have it nearby, please pick that up because it'll be useful in a few moments. I would like for you to just know that this is for wherever you are right now. So if you need to step away during our time, if you need to tend to someone or just listen with your camera off, that's perfect. The session works however you need it to. Now, if you're here, scan days and oncology appointments might be coming, or maybe they just passed. You could be a medical professional seeking to learn what it's like on the other side of the exam room. And if you are, I love that you're here. The fact that you all showed up for yourselves or for your patients is an important step. Now, just a reminder, this is not a training, it's a pause. You don't have to memorize anything or even take notes if you don't want to. Just show up for yourself. That's enough. All the information actually will be available as a PDF after we're done anyway. So if you want to just sit back and just breathe and listen, this is a perfect time to do that. Here's what we're going to be doing together. We're going to breathe a little. We're going to learn a little. And we're going to leave with one thing you can actually use. We're going to try to take it slow. We're going to try to be gentle with ourselves. And I'm going to try to meet you right where you are. So first, I want to give you a little context for why this work means so much to me. Over 10 years ago, my husband was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. And like many of you, I was thrown into caregiving without a roadmap. That experience, living through the long nights, the medical decisions, the exhaustion, has shaped everything I do today. I took what I learned in those years, combined it with my background as a yoga and meditation teacher, and now I create tools, workshops, and even a podcast designed to give caregivers what I wish I had back then, ways to protect your own health while caring for someone you love. And when we live with cancer in our lives, the uncertainty can be more than unsettling, especially when we know that in the very near future, there will be scans and appointments that could find life-altering information. And having to live with that uncertainty can make it hard to function. It makes it difficult to enjoy life with your loved ones. Now, many people call this period of time as scanxiety. You may have heard the word or maybe not. It's the specific type of worry and stress that builds up before, during, and after medical scans or oncology appointments. Your brain knows that scan results could change everything. So it goes into a high alert mode, trying to prepare for every possible outcome. And this creates a cycle where the waiting becomes almost as stressful as the actual results. Unlike the regular anxiety that you could be living with all the time, scanxiety is tied to an additional stressor, a real unknown outcome. You can't just think positive thoughts and make it go away because the uncertainty is genuine. Because bottom line, scanxiety is your nervous system doing its job, trying to protect you. But getting stuck in overdrive when there's nothing actionable to do except wait. It's completely normal, and there are ways to work with it rather than against it. So let's start with something I call the worry line practice. Now grab that piece of paper and something to write with if you haven't already. And I know you want this to be a passive session for you, but I promise things will make much more sense if and it will help you leave the session feeling at least a little lighter if you follow along with us. So go ahead and grab it. And once you have that paper, I want you to draw a simple line. A line that could be wavy, it can be curved, it can be straight, whatever feels right to you. So write that line, draw it out. And once you're done, I want you to sit back for a moment and look at your line. Take a good look at that line. This line today is going to represent the invisible weight you carry every day. It's going to represent the appointments, the watching, the not knowing. In a minute, we're going to give your line one thing to carry for you for a while. But first, let's be honest about the weight that you're carrying. Look at your line again. Right now, it's just a line on paper, but we both know the weight you carry is real. So let's check in with ourselves for a moment. If possible, I'd like for you to just sit back for a moment. You can soften your gaze, close your eyes, or just look off away from your screen for a moment. And I want you to notice your breath. If you can, breathe in and out through your nose. Just your normal breath, but notice it. The way that it comes in, the way that it feels when it leaves. And slowly bring your mind to focus on just the beginning and the end of your regular breath. Maybe that breath is at the tip of your nose. Maybe your nose isn't available right now and it's coming in and out through your mouth. And as you continue to focus on the beginning and the end of your breath, I'd like you to relax your shoulders for a moment. Even consider relaxing the muscles of your face. And try to let go of all the things that have happened already today, all the information you might have tried to cram into your brain from the last couple of sessions, letting everything release for a moment, letting go of the things that you know have to happen later. This is a small window of time just for you. Now let your breath stay as it normally is, or if you find that it's growing and it's relaxing a little bit more and getting a little deeper, that's perfect too. And your mind will want to wander. That's okay. We're going to give it something to do in a few seconds. Continue breathing. See if you can let your shoulders relax a little more. Maybe allow the upper teeth and the lower teeth to part away from each other. Maybe you can even release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Just you and your breath. Now, as you continue to keep your eyes relaxed, as you continue to breathe, I want you to think of one thing that feels heavy in your life. No judgment. Don't overanalyze it. Nothing is too small or too big, because the only one you'll share it with is you. No one else needs to know. Just the first thing that comes to your mind. And when you've identified the one thing you'd like to give this line to hold, I want you to sit with it for just a second. See how it feels to look at this one thing that is carrying a lot of weight for you right now. And now that we're all ready, I'd like for you to place your hands over your eyes if they're closed. Slowly open them, and then let the hands come back down. Now I want you to think of that line you drew. It is going to represent something that carries a heavy weight for you. Maybe your weight is the 3 a.m. worry that won't let you sleep. the calendar full of appointments you coordinate, the medications you track, the brave face you wear, or the future that you can't plan? Or how about the questions you can't answer? In your mind or quietly to yourself, name that one weight you identified and assign it to this line, just one of the weights, and write that down on that line that you have in front of you on the paper. Let that line hold it for you. Now I want you to look at that line, look at the weight that you wrote over top of that line, and notice your paper didn't get heavier, right? Your line is still the same. But check in and see if something might have shifted for you when you named it. When we make the invisible visible, we can work with it. So look at that line. Feel it if you want with your fingers. This is what we're learning to notice, the weight before it becomes too heavy. Now, there are 3 steps we're going to practice today. They're simple. You already know how to do them, but we're just going to put them together in a process that you can use to help ease the effects of anxiety you experience before oncology appointments. I call it the NIA method. We're going to notice the moment you feel anxiety creeping in. We're going to interrupt it with the breath you take to slow it down. And then we're going to find an anchor that keeps you steady. So let's walk through them together. Notice is where it starts. Sometimes we don't realize we're anxious about upcoming scans and appointments until we snap at someone, or we skip meals, or find ourselves sitting on social media distracting from our realities for hours and hours during the day. So look at your line. This is what we're learning to notice, the weight before it becomes too heavy. Now, when oncology appointments are coming up, where do you start to feel stress in your body? Maybe you're feeling it right now. Do your shoulders creep towards your ears? Does your jaw clench? Do you feel it's hard to make decisions? Any of these sound familiar? That's your body trying to protect you. You can share yours in the chat if you'd like. Sometimes it's easier to see and understand what might be your signs by seeing what other people are sharing. Maybe you're more easily irritated or snap at your loved one. You find yourself reacting more than responding. What thoughts keep looping? What are you bracing for? Now, here's how this shows up for me. I stress clean. When I feel I'm extra anxious about upcoming doctor's appointments for my husband, I clean. And we're not talking just the normal cleaning, but like that judgy person in your family is coming over to stay for a few days cleaning. I clean everything. Everything is put in its place, from getting all the clothes washed and put away to sanitizing the inside of the refrigerator. And normally I'd feel calm the next day, waking up to a fresh, clean house. But I don't, because the cleaning was a response to anxiety, not because I wanted the house clean. It was a way to control what I couldn't control, to prepare for the unknown. I didn't know how my life would change while I was out, and I wanted to be prepared for when I got back. I now know that is what I do. And oftentimes you're showing the signs of how these appointments affect you. However, if we aren't aware of them, we can't use them as helpful information. Usually we are so focused on the what ifs that we aren't aware of the signs right in front of us. Now, once we notice when the additional anxiety of this phase of cancer life starts to show up, we can interrupt it. Not with logic, not with forced positivity, but with our breath. When we breathe out longer than when we breathe in, something amazing happens in our body. Our nervous system has two modes, one for danger and one for safety. And right now, if you're feeling anxious about upcoming scans or appointments, your body might be stuck in danger mode. That's why your heart races and your muscles tense up or your thoughts won't stop spinning. But when you make your exhale longer than your inhale, you flip a switch. You tell your nervous system, we're okay right now. And it's like pressing a reset button that your body already knows how to use. So think of it this way. When we're scared or stressed, we tend to take quick, shallow breaths. Our body is getting ready to run or fight, but when we're truly safe and relaxed, like when we're falling asleep or sitting peacefully, our breathing naturally slows down and our exhales get longer. And by deliberately breathing with a longer exhale, breathing out for 6 counts when we only breathed in for 4, we're speaking our body's own language. We're not trying to think our way out of anxiety. We're using our breath to tell our body what our worried mind can't believe yet, that in this moment, we're safe enough to breathe slowly. So we're going to try it. If you can and feel comfortable, place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. And I want you to notice how your body feels right now. We're going to experience a 4-6 breath, which means your exhale is slightly longer than your inhale. My counting is your guide, but if you need to breathe shorter or longer, do what feels best for you. The only thing I want you to focus on is making the exhale a little longer. So I'll count with you, but find your own pace if you need to. Your breath, your pace. Let's try it together. Find that comfortable seat that we found a few moments ago. And I want you to just find your breath again. Maybe it's coming in and out of your nose if your nose is available. And if it's not, do your mouth. It also works. Finding your breath. And now I want you to follow your inhale and everybody exhale with me. Now we're going to inhale for 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 more for 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 more for 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take an uncounted deep breath in. Slowly let it back out. Another deep breath in. Slowly let it back out. One more deep breath in. Slowly let it back out. Come back slowly to your normal breath. And while you're here, I want you to notice how you feel. Just observe, no judgment. That was less than 3 minutes. 3 minutes to take a pause, to interrupt the thought patterns or the habits caused by anxiety. 3 minutes to find a moment of calm before you go back into what can be a day that feels ultimately difficult. 3 minutes that it can allow you to walk back into your life, to be present with your family, and enjoy every small moment of the life you're fighting to be able to live. You can take 3 minutes for yourself. In fact, I promise you, if you disappear for 3 minutes, no one is going to notice. Just slowly back into a closet or lock yourself into a bathroom. Step outside to grab the mail and do this breath walking there and back. This breath requires nothing from you but your attention. No special tools or clothes or a special place to sit. You don't have to buy anything to access it. You simply have to be present and steal away 3 minutes of focus so you can feel exactly as you did right now, or even calmer. Your breath is always with you. Use it as the tool it is. Because after you interrupt the onset of anxiety with your breath, the next move is yours. It's to find an anchor. After you've noticed anxiety and interrupted it with breath, you need something to hold on to stay grounded. You can choose a phrase, an image, or a breath. An anchor is your chosen home base, something you can return to again and again when your mind starts racing about scan results, appointments, or the unknown. Now, some of you might choose your line that you have in front of you as your anchor, a reminder that you can pick up and put down the weight whenever you want. But I'm going to go through a few more ideas so you can pick something that will work for you. Here are some anchors to try. Pick one or create your own. You can use phrases as anchors like, I can't control the outcome, but I can control this breath. Or I've done hard things before, or I'm still here and I'm breathing. There are some visual anchors, like picturing yourself as a mountain, the weather moving around you, but you remain strong. Imagine roots growing from your feet into the earth to ground you. How about physical anchors? They might feel better for you, like touching a finger to the thumb when you're counting your breaths. Slow neck rolls with breathing or gently swaying like a tree in the breeze. Which one of these anchors would be the perfect reminder for you to come back to yourself when the uncertainty of cancer makes you feel ungrounded? And again, it might not even be anything I just listed, but something you know that will be perfect for you to use. Because the important thing is, personalizing this plan is the only way it will work for you. It might sometimes feel like people are telling you what to do to help yourself, but not actually sitting with you to create something that actually makes sense for you. If caring for yourself isn't informed by your likes and dislikes, if it doesn't fit your personality or lifestyle, it will not stick. You most likely won't ever use it again. And if no one has ever told you this before, it isn't your fault if trying to care for yourself doesn't work, because it's hard to find the perfect thing for you to do. It needs to be customized for you, and you're the best person to know how to do that. So we're going to make it yours. I'm going to put some questions up, and you can write them down. You can put them in your phone or your notes. You could take a picture of them or just think about them. They're also going to be in the PDF available to you when we're done. So no worries if you just want to sit and just mentally think about them. There'll be something for you to reference later. Let's think through your personal plan. And if you want to answer in the chat, I know Sherry's watching it, so go ahead and do that, because again, it might help give others that are here help in figuring out what can spark an idea for them. So I want you to ask yourself, when does anxiety hit you the hardest? Now, you thought about this earlier. How does the additional stress before oncology appointments or the anxiety that shows up after, how does it show up for you? Is it a certain amount of time before the appointment? Is it after your appointment? Can it be months before your next check in? When does it show up? Because understanding when it shows up can help you prepare to head it off. Then, where will I practice my 4-6 breath? Right? You felt it. You know how it works. It's a longer exhale than your inhale. So once you can identify the signs of anxiety, you can interrupt it with that breath. But planning how or when you'll bring out that breath is a good way to make sure you'll do it. What would be an easy way for you to take 2 to 3 minutes for yourself to just breathe, to just have a moment where you can focus on your breath and release? Now, the next question is, what will you anchor to? We just saw some examples of anchors, but what type and which one really spoke to you? Is there one that wasn't listed that you know will be a good way to bring yourself back to the present? And then, what will remind you to do this? You might now have a plan, but how are you going to remember to enact it when you need it? Do you put a calendar reminder a week before the next hospital visit? Do you write it on a post-it and put it somewhere you'll see it? Can you practice when cancer doesn't make you feel as anxious so you have more time experiencing it before you really need it? Ask yourself these questions. And even if it's later today, write them down so that you have a written plan that you can follow and stick to when you need it. Now, there is one more option. We can identify one person you could text when anxiety hits. If you have that person in your life, it's always good to explain to them what you need from them at this time. That way, they're not trying to figure out what to do. They're not trying to fix things that you don't want fixed. And when you reach out, they know exactly how to support you when you're in this place. Maybe somebody who'll just simply reply, "I'm breathing with you." Now, you have a method. It's not a fix, but it's a way to reset. You can notice the cues for when anxiety starts to creep in. You can interrupt it, and you can anchor back into yourself. Now, you still have that line in front of you with that worry that you had written on top of it. You have a choice about what to do with that line. And I think that what you do with that line is going to be an important part of you holding on to what you just learned and went through. You can symbolically release it. You can tear up your paper. You can erase the line. You can crumple it up, or you can take it out to a fire in your backyard and burn it. It's acknowledging that some of the weight isn't yours to carry. Or you can transform it and keep it. Maybe your drawing becomes a bookmark or a visual anchor that says, "I choose to tend to myself today." There's no right choice, just your choice. So let's close together for just a quick second. We're going to take 3 more of those 4-6 breaths before we close. And the thing is, with the 4-6 breath, you don't have to have your eyes closed. You don't have to be in a comfortable space. You can do it while you're sitting in an oncology waiting room or in line somewhere, while you're driving, while someone's talking to you that's really stressing you out. So let's slowly find our inhale, and then everybody let out that exhale. Now inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhales longer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make the exhale just a little bit longer. You don't need to be calm all the time, but you do need a way back when it starts to feel too loud. So thank you for being here and congratulations on doing something for yourself today. If you want the PDF and there's a worksheet there if you so you can reinforce what you just learned right now, by all means go ahead and download it here. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte, for bringing us back to a center.
You're welcome.
I do have, I've got two questions that came through for you. How can I avoid going down the Dr. Google rabbit hole while waiting for results or next steps?
Yeah, Dr. Google or even refreshing my chart at 3 o'clock in the morning, like we're assuming that something's going to change. I would say if you know that that's a thing that you do, and we all do it, right? Um, when you find yourself reaching to ask Google a question, maybe try to take a pause and do that 4-6 breath or any breath. Walk away from the computer, take 3 just deep breaths, and then maybe even make yourself an anchor, right? Like, I trust what my doctors have told me, or something that reinforces the fact that what will happen if you try to Google isn't going to help you feel any better. Um, and then leave to do something, right? So breathe, reinforce the fact that you can have control over things, but don't have to do it through researching on Google. And then reward yourself, right? Maybe it's getting a cup of tea. Maybe it's just sticking your head out a window so that you have a reset in your nervous system and distract your mind from what it wanted to do to give it something different to do.
Great advice. And I have one more. What's the best way to respond when friends and family ask for updates and I don't know what's happening yet?
Yeah. I generally have people, first of all, have a standard uh, text, especially if it's text, right? Um, that they can copy and paste. So there's no emotional energy that's needed to respond back to people. And so there's a couple that I have them do. One is, I got your text. I really can't respond right now. I really love that you're thinking of me. Or there's another one that I'll have people do that is basically saying, I don't know anything. I'll let you know when I do. Right. Um, I find that then if you have people calling you, or if you have people like that are very persistent, unfortunately set a boundary, right? Oftentimes we have a family member that kind of is uh, the wrangler or the leader, right? And you, if you do have that person, you need to have a heart to heart with them and say, look, this is hurting me more than helping me. I get everyone wants to know, but I cannot field questions. And it's honestly a problem because even if it's texting, you text 5 people, then everyone's going to text you 5 more times. That's way too much. And so, if that's a problem, I seriously would consider setting something up like a caring bridge or a place where people can go when they want to see if there's any new information. And the person that asks you the most, have them be the one that is the person that updates that, since they're information driven. That would give them something to do and allow them to feel like there's a little bit of control for them to know what's happening.
Great answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for everyone's attention today. And Charlotte, I'm so happy that you're there for the caregivers and the care partners out there. We need someone to also remember that they're going through this journey as well, and it's not always easy on them. So thanks for reminding us to think about ourselves.
And thanks for having me here. I appreciate it.